shoot, it's already recording. Okay. uh, so, um, it's been a minute uh, since I posted anything. I'm sorry about that. Um, Webcam, no longer the phone. Still got it. Um, for the people that was here for the ASMR videos, sorry, I haven't been posting. I know that a good amount of people were watching those. Um, I can get around to it and record a couple more whenever I feel like I'm up for recording a couple more of those videos. But the topic for this video is a little bit different. So if you guys don't want to watch it, hey, you know, you don't have to. I'm not forcing you. Um, this video is pretty off the cuff, but I just wanted to talk about, you know, when you fuck up. Um, and I want to talk actually like, one on one, like to you, and then I can rewatch the video to me, like for me. When I tell you that I had this idea for a while, and I didn't know what I wanted to post for the longest time, but I know I wanted to post something that I related to, um, because it's like it's a real thing. When you, and I'm not editing this. I'm not. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry. I'm looking at my phone. I'm trying to bring back the stuff I put back. Um, there we go. So I had the idea for it. If you guys can read that, I don't know if you can. You probably can't read it. Literally, I was trying to come up with things to say. So this might be a ramble. If you guys don't want to watch me ramble, that's completely understandable, But I wanted to talk about when you fuck up and when you know you messed up, or when stuff is completely messed up in your life. Because everyone, it's gonna happen to everyone. Trust and believe. I don't understand when, and I'm holding my mic. Sorry if you guys didn't know what this is. I jump back and forth, so hopefully I can get better at keeping track of my sentences and thoughts and things like that. But if I do jump back and forth and I forget a topic, or I just completely cut it, it's I don't know. But I don't understand when people will say to themselves, and I don't have no. I'm sorry, I'm cutting the topic short. This isn't a light. I don't have lighting. I'm using my TV. Just being 100% honest. Like, I don't have no lighting. It's a TV. Uh, using my Mac. But again, let me start. Jesus Christmas. I'm sorry, guys. But I don't know why when people, they fuck up and they dig on themselves, and they don't really understand like what's going on in the situation. They just like drill into their head like, oh man, it's the worst thing. It's the worst thing. It's the worst. You know, Nothing's gonna get better. Um, it's either completely my fault, or like, why is the world doing this to me right now? And I can empathize with them because it happens to everyone. Everyone is gonna fuck up. The Here's the thing. Everyone is going to mess up. It just depends on when. Everyone messes up at some point in their life. Everyone messes up, or they get kicked down. Life kicks them down. Life punches you in the face. Oh my gosh, it damn near jumps you. Um, it's it's almost hilarious because when you're already down, it's like life is robbing you. They already beat you. It just wants to take some more, if you let it. And it's not why, or it's not if, it's just when. And everyone is going to go through it. And if you go through it earlier on in your life, you know, it can happen like that, or it can happen later on in your life. And it's not just one thing, you know, like it's struggling isn't just going to happen once. It's going to happen, it can happen like, you can go through a domino effect where it's just one thing after the other, and it can, and just stuff can just keep knocking down, or it could be just one catastrophic event, but it comes out of nowhere. It could be spread out, you know. You can go through the worst thing that can happen to you in the beginning of your life. Everything else is kind of, you know, some medium ups, some ups and downs, but later on in your life is something devastating again. And I just want to say for myself, but to people who also go through that it's not uncommon. It's not, you know, it's not super rare. So I'm looking at my lips, and lips are too dry. I can't do it. I'm sorry if I don't. Sorry if I don't make any edits, but I couldn't get Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas is only on Windows applications, and I have a Mac. But it's not even a flex because I can't use half the stuff I've been using for the past 5 years. Like, you go down all the other videos I edited only on Sony Vegas, but that's besides the point. That's not even part of the topic. I wanted to make this video for when that happens. When you get kicked down, when you get punched in the mouth, when everything is just completely against you. You know, when it seems like you can't win. You just can't win. You know, even if you've done everything, that you've tried to do everything right. You tried. And it's not like you're, you know, like you're not trying, but it's you you have no control over that when life comes into play. You can do stuff to prevent it from happening, but for sure you can prolong you know, bad situations and stuff like that. But when it does happen, and you have tried your best, and you're just down, you know. And I wanted to remind myself and try to give like a personal, because I have no problem with speaking about my situation, and because, like, come on, at the end of the day, I don't mean to be, you know, I don't mean to be not somber, but I call it realism. You know, I say it's realistic. I try to be realistic at all times. At the end of the day, I will not live, you know, like forever. I'm gonna die. I don't know when. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. So I might as well try my best to at least put something out here in some way, shape, or form to prevent, you know, someone else from experiencing the same experiences that I've gone through. And I have no problem with sharing mine, because I know for a fact it's billions of people on this planet. I'm just one of them. If my one situation is the most embarrassing out of all of the billions of people, something's a problem. So I have to reevaluate myself. Something's a problem. But my personal situation, and I have no problem with, you know, saying that life done kicked me down. Life punched me, jumped me, people's elbow on my head, you know, and it was after I had prepared everything in one way, you know, in one direction. And you can have a goal, you can have your plans, I'm not gonna say that I am the greatest at hiding when something bad happens or adapting to the situation. Um, but I have noticed that I do specific things when it does, come upon me that I can I stop doing things that I know is leisure to me, and I stop. I really I take a pause. If life punches you straight in the face, you can't just get immediately back up and try to get it right back. You can't get your revenge strike right back because at that point you're stunned. You have to recalibrate and you have to get a feel for yourself and understand what hurts the most, what is the most damaged, what is the least damaged, what can take another hit, and what can't. Um, and I did that with YouTube, for example. With music, I did that with going outside. I did that with talking to friends. I did that with playing the game. And I love playing games. You can go through the. I mean, shoot, I have a whole gaming channel. It's the point is proven. I love playing games, but at the end of the day, you gotta lock in. And certain things that I do, and I'm not gonna say that this is for everybody, but you have to, when you're reevaluating yourself, you have to cut the leisure activities out. You really have to self evaluate, if that's, because you have to understand why you got hit first, and it's going to be a flood of emotions. You're gonna, oh my gosh, people are gonna go, you're gonna go through it. You're gonna go through it. It was a flood of emotions. It's gonna be, you'll go through everything: anger, just worry, and sadness, and it's just, oh, everything's so heightened, and you're like, wow, what the heck what is going on, and then it might be doubt. You might doubt, like, well, can I really do this? Can I really achieve whatever I'm trying to achieve, or is it out of my league? And no, you gotta start from zero again, and starting from zero looks very different for everybody. Um, I mean, you take somebody that's in a completely different tax bracket. It happens to everyone. I'm not lying. It happens to everyone. And if you compare yourself to other people along the way, it makes it a little bit worse. But it your situation is not going to be so different that you can't apply the reevaluation process. I'm sorry if I'm rambling. Yeah, I yap a good amount, but the first thing that I did that I would recommend is understanding why you got hit in the first place and understanding how it happened. Oh, sorry. There might be a little bit of air or something in the background. I don't know if it's going to pick it up. Does it pick it up? It does. Oh, sorry, guys. Here we go. I'll put it back. Hello, 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 hello. Now I'll put it back. All right, but you'll have to re-evaluate yourself, and it's gonna piss me off. I know it is. I know it is. I know. Sorry. I'm gonna turn it. I just had to turn it off. I had to. Okay. apologizing. I know this video is gonna be long as hell. I'm gonna be yapping for a minute. But where was I? The reevaluation process isn't something that's like only for a certain person. You know, it's not only for, say, if you're you have the least amount of finances, or you have excess. It's because you have to understand what happened. You can't just, if you get hit, right? And I keep comparing it to getting hit because that's what it feels like. It feels like you got hit. The second you get hit, you're not just going to be like perfectly fine, unless it's like a love tap. But that's just day by day. No, I'm talking like Mike Tyson. You're getting walloped. You don't just immediately get back up, because damn, it might. What if it happens again? Now you're even in a worse position. You have to understand what you did right and what you did wrong, and don't don't be discouraged about the stuff that you did right, and don't dig on yourself so much for what you were doing wrong. Just understand it more. Just think about it. Just keep thinking about it. Not in a bad way. Don't overthink it, but dive as deep as possible in a healthy way to really just narrow down how to prevent that situation from happening again. Because now that it happened, you should be able to prevent something like that from happening again. At least for me personally speaking, I was down, bro. I was down. And when I tell you down, and it's coming from where I was getting close to the peak. I was about to get a whole setup, a whole PC setup, had a new apartment, new car. Everything was nice, in a pretty good area, coming back from a long, journey for my job and stuff like that. And boom, just everything, domino effect. Boom, car breaks down. Boom, had to move the house. Another one, hopping from place to place, had to sell everything, and I'm like, yo, golly, bro, how do people do it? And because I know it's people that go through worse things, but I'm like, how do you just keep reevaluating and keep pressing on? I'm like, God. But they have, and going on to the second thing, they have a really good why. They have a really good reason. They're stubborn, and they have a really good reason to keep moving forward. Now, being stubborn is it's not everyone's stubborn. For a lot of people, once you get hit that hard, you don't want to get back up, and I can understand why. Trust you me, I can understand why. Because who wants to get hit like that again? Who wants to be so close to the person that you want to be like, or so close to a goal that you really have envisioned for yourself, it's like Icarus, you feel like you're so close, and then you just burn and fall, and you're like, yo, how do I get up from that? And that part right there is that's hard for me to explain, because it's there's plenty of reasons as to why I can understand why people wouldn't get up, but you gotta find something that you gotta use some sort of emotion, and it's not even just motivation, but it has to be discipline, it has to be perseverance. You have to you have to lose yourself to find yourself again. And when you get punched like that, you done damn near lost everything. So you're back on a journey to finding yourself. And finding yourself ain't no joke, man. It ain't no joke. Because while you're doing that, you're gonna be changing. You'll be changing in certain ways that you never thought that you ever would. And to other people, it might seem like you're just doubting yourself, but you're not. There's no reason to feel ashamed for changing your mind or changing the stuff that you used to like to do to things that you know that you should do that you can still enjoy. And if people say something about it, those aren't the people that you should be around. To put it as plainly as possible, you're not your circle, but the people that you associate with have to also be, they have to also have gone through something like that. And not immediately your situation, but they have to, it makes it a lot easier if they've been knocked down, for them to understand what you're doing, your rebuilding process. And usually, if you're not getting knocked down, it's nothing really that you're fighting for. It's nothing really that you're trying to achieve. In my personal opinion, that's just my personal opinion. If you're not fighting an uphill battle, there's nothing that you're fighting. Like you're not fighting anything that's worthwhile. You're not going towards anything. And you want to have people like that are around you. It makes the decisions you make a lot healthier, if you kind of understand what I'm saying. Because if you're around people who, say you don't want to drink, and for the people that can't drink, say you don't want to play video games no more. You've been playing video games all of your life. Not from this ain't this. I'm not talking about me. I might take a break, but are you kidding me? But say you don't want to play video games no more. Just because you don't want to play video games no more, golly, but the people that you're around, right? If you're in a gamer, a game group and stuff like that, you guys talk about games, you love video games, this, that, and the third, but you don't want to play the video games no more because you want to start putting that time into something else, because you need to put that time into something else, because you have to make up for you have to recover, and during that recovering time you have to make up. Like you're hurt, you're hurt in a certain area, and you can't have that same style of life. You have to give something up to gain something. And when you're doing those swaps, those 1-for-1 swaps, the people that have been along with you during that, and they haven't fallen, oh my God, what man, please, no, dude, please, nah, get on the, what, girl, nah, get on the, oh, nah, what, that's not you, that's, look, I gotta do something, I gotta fix something, I don't got time, so that's it, that's literally it. And if you get flack for that, I'm not saying just drop your friends, but the mature thing to do, like the hard thing to do, is because it's not easy. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. The hardest thing to do is saying, look, and see, it's even hard for me. I'm trying to fix myself, and you're trying to put me in a position where I'm stagnant and I'm already hurt. I need to do this. Now, if you're forcing me, you're disrespecting my grind right now. You're disrespecting me trying to come up, trying to rebuild what I can see myself, trying to rebuild what I have, and trying to build up to what I see myself as becoming. Now, that's not saying you dropping it, but you gotta draw a line, and it's very hard for people to draw that line. It's hard for me to draw that line. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I can do all of these things and it's so easy for me. No, it's not. It's not. Still a human. Like, I'm gonna make mistakes. We'll continue to make mistakes forever. Sorry. It's just what I am. But it doesn't mean that, you just completely you just completely forget the people that's kind to you and stuff like that. There's going to be times where you disagree with your friends, and certain times where you got to take a break from your friends or people that's around you to come back, to come back and do even better things. But it's another point I wanted to have in this. The video, when I tell you, I'm not going off a script or anything. So it's literally just me coming up on the spot. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. But yeah, man, when you fuck up, dude. I didn't know. I personally didn't know certain areas that I wasn't too proficient in, and certain people that I've heard for sure. And I would have never noticed, until you put yourself in their shoes, or until the thing happens to you, or until something happens. You just keep reevaluating, and you just really dig deep into your patterns, and really dig deep into your actions, and keep asking yourself why, and you'll start to see that you may have disrespected, hurt, or offended some folks without you really wanting to, and it's not like you can't just. That's the great part. You can always go back and apologize. Apologizing isn't weakness. Apologizing is understanding. True apologies are understanding, not just like a fake, oh yeah, bro, I'm sorry. No, I didn't notice that me doing this was giving off this type of energy, was doing this to you, was making you feel this type of way, you know what I'm saying, was putting you in this position, or was like not deterring, but distracting you from getting to where you want to be. And there will be times where other people will do that to you, where people will apologize to you, and you have to grow and adapt and really accept where they're coming from. Truly. Because if you do accept it, and if you are truly being apologetic, there should be no bad blood, and I've been wanting to make this video, bro. It's a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, but I don't want to make this video too long. I'll probably just record another thing. But golly, I do have plans, for the future. I do plan on getting another PC. I like building my own PC. I want to record that. I do want to get back into streaming, but I gotta lock in, So it's gonna take me a little bit of time. I do want to keep making videos. I'm kind of going through a little rebranding. If you guys ain't noticed, my profile pic has changed and stuff like that. But I want to make more music, but I gotta lock in. There's certain things I gotta give up. So this might be one of the things. I did want to do like a little update. Oh my gosh, I appreciate 883. Matter of fact, it's 884 right now, bro. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep it 100 at all times. You know, if something's going on with me, best believe I'm gonna make a video. I don't know when, but I'm gonna make a video touching the topics as to like why I've been going. And feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to just chill. You know, like I'm just trying to have the chillest community. Just trying to be as honest as possible, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be here forever. So I might as well do the best I can to be as honest and as truthful, you know, as I can, and be as you know as a chill guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, just be as genuine. You know, it's why not? Like why not? One of my goals. I don't even think I said this in a video yet. I want to have at least 1,000 videos on YouTube, at least 1,000. But we got a long way to go. It ain't like YouTube's going anywhere. I hope not. But you know, love y'all. I appreciate the last couple subscribers. Mark, Under Yari, Jonathan Smith, and then 𝐥𝐨𝐚𝐝𝐢𝐧𝐠. Those are the people that's been Dom G. You know what I'm saying? That boy online. I can see all of this, bro. I can see all y'all when y'all recently subscribed. I feel bad for not not making no vids and shit like that. But I just wanted to touch up on that topic. You know, for when you fuck up. Like, I'm gonna put links in the video for stuff that helped me. So if you're going through something, trust and believe you are not alone. Keep your head up, because at the end of the day, you gotta prove to yourself that you're gonna be your best self. You know, you have to be your best self. You owe it to yourself to be your best self. So I don't know what my outro is. I forgot what my outro was. But I'll catch y'all.